We've got some fantastic guests on this latest episode. In fact, the first episode of this Big Small podcast, which I think I'm going to call These Big Small Worlds. Welcome, chat. You're here when it started. If this becomes famous in a million years, you know where it started, on this day. Introducing contestant number 1, drum roll please. We have SILVERSPELL, the amazing Twitch mob boss.
Hey, yeah. Thank you for having me.
Now, Silver, give yourself a little bit of a plug. Tell us where we can find you online. What do you do? Why are you so awesome?
I can mainly be found here on Twitch at SILVERSPELL09. And you can also find me generally on TikTok as well. Those are my main 2 platforms. And what I do, I'm a gamer. I'm a variety gamer who dabbles in cooking as well.
Second in command, on the lower deck there, is Qualbert.
That's me.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
We are always happy to have you. Qualbert has also been in the kitchen twice. We did Monster Hunter and Legend of Zelda. Absolutely incredible streams. God, we nailed it.
They were great. So much fun. And like the food actually ended up looking awesome. Like particularly that Monster Hunter one was just like spot on.
Yes. Oh man, it was so good, and it looked.
I was so impressed.
It looked just like in the game. It was very, very excellent.
I felt like I needed to just go take down like a huge monster after eating that.
Yeah, true. Well, after eating all the food we did, I definitely felt like I needed to take down a huge monster to burn off some of those kilojoules. But yeah, excellent. Thank you very much for being in the kitchen and for being on These Big Small World.
No problems.
Podcast. So if anyone in chat wanted to look you up online, Qualbert, what are you all about? Where would they find you? Where would they go?
So I run a video game news and review website that is called Qualbert.com. Actually, one of my fellow reviewers I saw in the chat, Sir Lemsip,
Yep.
he's one of the writers on the site as well. And we are on every social media platform, Qualbert.com on Facebook. We're on Twitter, Instagram. Actually, I lie when I say every social media platform. Not really on Twitch, not really on TikTok. So I'm like the polar opposite of Silver.
Yeah.
You cover every base that I'm not on.
We're gonna talk about content creation, and these two, hold on, it's mirrored. These 2 people, I really can't point anywhere. Anyway, over here, these 2 people are 2 of my absolute favorite content creators, and have provided some of the best advice and support out there. So these 2, I really wanted to talk to because they are 2 of my favorite content creators, and both coming at it from very different angles, which is what I really liked about it. So, look, welcome to the guests. We got Qualbert and we got SILVERSPELL. And in future, welcome to chat. Welcome to YouTube in the future. I'm assuming this will go on YouTube at some point when I get time to edit, because I'm my own production assistant and editor.
It's a lot of work.
It is a ton of work. Hopefully one day I can get a little bit of money together and hire an editor. So
the dream.
Silver is famous all the time. But yes, and hopefully podcast. So hopefully this will go out as a podcast. It'll be really cool. I would love to have some content that people can just listen to. So first things first, most important part of the show. It's why everyone tunes in. I know every viewer is going to drop off after this part. That's the only reason why they're here. We're going to talk about the drinks and dishes, right? So I've got my Negroni. This is a black raspberry Negroni made with Chambord, made with Campari, and made with Cinzano Rosso, a vermouth. If you're not a seasoned cocktail drinker or do not like bitter things, do not make Negronis. That's all I have to say. And
that is a fancy drink.
Thank you. I thought so too. Very fancy. I even have my own dried candied oranges that I make, chat. So if you're interested
Typical chef.
Yeah, in a jar. I'm so hipster. And I made these lovely almond brownies on stream on Sunday. I stream most Sundays. That's something else I do if you would like to hang out. I have lovely guests like these 2 in my kitchen as well, and also I cook by myself sometimes. So those are my food and drinks. Silver.
I have bought boba, It is comprised of ones and zeros. Very tasty, very, very tasty. And no one can see them, but I have homemade Anzac pickies with me.
Delicious.
Nice. Very good.
I have a really good anecdote about Anzac cookies, right? My grandma
Hmm.
baked them religiously all the time. And there was like me and like one other cousin who liked the chewy Anzacs. Everyone else liked the crispy ones. So
Mm.
she would have, you know, those old Tupperware, the round Tupperware containers with the white lids and the green brown
Oh my god.
bottom.
The one where like the white lids, you
Yeah.
had to struggle to get them to like
Yeah.
push down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. She had like 6 of those in her cupboard at all times, and 2 of them were always filled with chewy cookies, just for me and this other cousin. So
That's so cute.
thanks, Grandma.
That's
I appreciate it.
adorable.
I appreciate it. Grandma's the reason why most of us in my family are in hospitality and are like we are. So you can blame her. Right. So, and what about you, Qualbert? What have you brought to the table?
So for my food, I have a cheese platter. We've got 3 different types of cheese. I've got it's like a fruity cheddar, some smoked cheddar, and then the smelliest of all cheeses, some Stilton blue cheese, because that stuff is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm never a fan of blue cheese.
Well, we'll convince you yet.
You can try.
Just for my drink, I've busted out a little something special because I don't have many of these left. But I figured for a stream, I would crack
Whoa.
out the Diablo 2 Devil's Blood Red Ale, which is a
Wow.
limited edition,
Damn.
only available in Korea, I believe. And
Oh damn.
there's a local
You really are
Korean
bringing it
grocer.
out for a special
Oh, yeah.
occasion.
Wow.
You know it.
Wow. Right.
Only
you
the best
you
for
deserve this,
for
Qualbert. You
Nick.
deserve
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
it's all for you.
Yeah, you're a legend. You're a legend, mate.
Let's crack it.
Yeah, crack it open, see how it goes. How many years out of date is it?
No, I got this last year. It's still in date.
Let's see, chat. What's the red ale going to be like?
It's delicious. I've had a couple.
Is
cans
it
of
red? Because if it's called red
It
ale
is.
and isn't red, I'll be
No,
disappointed.
it is actually like a deep kind of red, sort of orange color. Sorry, I really have to focus on pouring it, otherwise it's gonna go all over my keyboard.
Yeah, don't do that. That
I don't know if you can see that, but like in the light, it is like a really
Get
deep red.
It is too.
That's very
Like that.
cool.
That is the perfect fucking head, like on top there.
Cheers,
Thank you.
everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Excellent. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Not a problem. You are absolute legends. I really appreciate it. You're so good. Cool. So let's get to the topic at hand. So we're talking content creation. You guys are absolute legends. So let's all start, I think, the 3 of us. What is the platform you are most successful on? Right? The most, not necessarily the most followers, but the one that you feel you are the most successful on. Do you want to go first, Qualbert? We'll go.
Yeah, like this has been an interesting journey for me because it's changed over the years. So initially I started out on Facebook. I used to run this Facebook page called Honest Video Game Box Art, and I know Nick remembers it because he was around. He was my housemate when Honest Video Game Box Art was in its prime. And then over the years it kind of died off a little bit, but that community still sort of stuck around. And then a few years after, I started getting into Instagram, and it was just like taking a picture of a different game every day and like trying to be creative in how I could show off like actual physical copies of games but make them look really cool. And I think it took me a couple years before that really took off. But I genuinely enjoyed like the photography aspect, and I feel like it's really helped train my eye a lot because I can take far better pictures than when I started. And a couple years ago when COVID started and we're all in lockdown, and I had a lot more time on my hands, and already I was playing a ton of games. I would play games for like maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. And I just thought to myself, like, I can do more with this. Like, I'm really passionate about games. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with people. Why don't I just start up a blog?
That's
so I
so
signed up
good. So good.
So I signed up for a free WordPress blog. I just got writing, threw together a whole bunch of articles, and then I would have sent off like 200 to 300 emails just approaching game publishers all over the world, just trying to get on their press list. And it worked. And eventually the website snowballed and became less of a blog and more of like this independent video game media outlet. And it's just taken off from there. Like the last few months, there's been like a 500% increase in traffic. It's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I want to dedicate more and more time to the website because I feel like I'm not within the confines of a social media platform. I don't have to adhere to their rules. I'm not limited by their reach. I can make it my own.
That's excellent, dude. That's so good.
Yeah.
And you push so hard. I remember you just posted every day. You always, and still now to this day, you have content all over the place.
Yeah.
So,
And like it's the frequency of the content, but it's also the quality. Like we really pride ourselves in a very high standard of writing. And I'm sure Sir Lemsip, if he's still around, will attest to that as well. Like our articles go beyond what most people would expect from a game review.
yeah, I know that. So definitely check Qualbert out. It's an amazing website. Everybody except Lemsip does good writing.
No, I love your stuff, Lee.
Oh god. And Silver, what about yourself? Like with your content creation, you said you're on Twitch and you're on TikTok. What do you feel is your most successful platform out of the two?
I'm still new on TikTok, so Twitch is definitely where I'm more successful. But I didn't actually start out on Twitch.
Really?
Really? So when I first tried streaming originally, this was back when Mixer was around. So I was originally back on Mixer. Before that got shut down. And then I came over to Twitch, and yeah, no, it's taken a long time for sure to get a stable footing. Because I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Oh man,
like...
no, we get it. Where are the content creators? You can be honest here. You can be
feel
really
like
honest.
it's a lot of work.
Tons.
Oh, it can be like there are tons of gamers out there, and this is something I love to do. I love gaming. I love talking to the people who come through. But you're competing against a lot of people, but. And it's the same on TikTok too. There are so many content creators out there.
Huge platform.
Oh, for sure.
It scares me.
Yeah, me too.
God. You and me both.
Me too. Oh,
but no, yeah, definitely. Out of the two platforms, Twitch is where I'm definitely more successful.
Nice.
Or at least more where I see the success out of it.
But I would also say, you have a certain amount of followers on your stream. But what I see your biggest success on Twitch, and forgive me for, feel free to call me wrong, but your ability on Twitch goes far beyond the core subscribers that you have and the followers on Twitch. You are well known in so many disparate communities, and you draw them all together.
I am part of so many communities.
But it also feels like you're the center of them. Everyone knows Silver, right? They're not congregating around someone else. They're congregating around you. So you really should be proud of that lovely community that you've created around yourself and the support you give others, and then they support you, and it's really, really cool. I love it. So
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be where I am without support. So that's always something I came into this with. Like, if I had a chance to support other people, I wanted to. I wanted to show people the same support that got me to where I am.
So
I
good.
think that's really important for content creators is like helping each other out. Like we all started somewhere. We all got
Mhm.
help from someone. Like I had a lot of friends who kind of showed me the ropes when I was very early and like just trying to get things off the ground with my website. And like I certainly wouldn't be where I am today without their help. And I feel
Mm.
like you've got to pass that on. You've got to pay it forward and help out other people who are just as passionate.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
Does everyone want to know what my most successful platform is? Right? It's a weird
Go for
one. It's a weird one. Google Maps.
What?
I kid you not. So
That's awesome.
okay, so I've got a couple of hundred followers on Twitch now. I have a couple of hundred on Instagram. It's an interesting one, right? But I have been doing. Obviously, I'm in the industry, right? I'm hospitality industry. Those of you who don't know, I run a venue. If I go to my profile on Google Maps right now,
You're a star.
how many? So I have 1,052 contributions on Google Maps.
Oh.
And if we have a look at my photos, I have a total of 1,041,168 views on my photos. So
Google
Like,
Maps
what's
is a lot of
successful
fun.
in the both of us?
pretty insane. So you're like my highest tiered photos, like 66,000 people have viewed.
Awesome.
It's pretty insane.
Wow.
I don't know why. But apparently people really, really like my thing. So we are actually looking at doing a bit of a blog, my wife and I. So we're going to do a little bit of a cafe blog. But so funny, right? Of all the platforms, most people see me on Google Maps. So in true creator fashion, shameless plug, I've started putting my Instagram handle in all my Google Maps reviews now to try to bring people across. But anyway, that was a funny one. I thought I'd just share that.
I wouldn't have picked that, but like that makes sense.
No,
Like
not at all.
the amount of cafes you go to, you
Yeah.
would leave a review, you would take some pictures, like, and everybody uses
I
Google
know.
Maps. Like everyone's gonna
That's
come
right.
across your stuff at some point.
Exactly it. Oh my god. Well, I mean that's a funny one. So now the chat knows a little bit about us. They're pretty keen. They know where we're at, right? So what I want to ask you, we'll go Silver first, right? In terms of your content and what you do creatively, okay? What do you feel is the most enjoyable part in terms of like what you derive the most enjoyment from, right? When you're doing this content creation, what's the part that sparks joy in you, Silver?
Honestly, my community. I love just being able to talk to people. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the games I play, but I definitely enjoy talking to the people who come through, getting to know them. I've made a ton of friends because of this.
Hell yeah.
And like that, like that's the most enjoyable thing for me. I enjoy being able to hear about people's days, being able to, if they're having a bad day, making them feel just that little bit better.
That's so nice.
That's what I enjoy the most.
And what about you, Qualbert? Right, in terms of the content you do, because you go hard grind. You are always working. You're always on it. So
Every day.
Your content and creativity. What's the most enjoyable part for you? Like what's the bit that you always look forward to?
Whenever anyone says that they have played a game or even just tried a game out that they otherwise never would have, and it's because of something that they've seen on our website or they've seen our impressions on social media, like that brings me the greatest satisfaction. Like I want to be able to recommend games to people that are really suited to them. Because I feel like a lot of other review websites just slap a number on it, and we don't even score our games. It's why is this game suited to you? Why should you play it? Are you like the appropriate sort of person who's really going to enjoy it? And so anytime I get a comment, or occasionally people message the Facebook page and they're like, thanks so much for writing this review, I absolutely love this game, like that just fills my heart with so much joy.
Sparks joy, mate. I love it. Let's go. So let's then switch. Let's go on the flip side to question one, right? And we'll go back to Silver here. Let's be honest, okay? Not every part of this content creation is easy or fun, okay? There are some bits like what hurts you the most to do? What's the part you have to really grind through? You know you need to do it, but you need to get it done, but it's not the most enjoyable part.
Oh God. When I first saw these questions, I had an answer.
You don't have to answer. This is a podcast, not a prison.
Not
so
like honestly, the grind, the biggest grind for me would have to be.
Ella knows your answer for this, apparently.
Oh, does she?
Apparently.
I half want to hear what she has to say for this.
Okay, Ella, can you answer for Silver in chat there?
Let me see what you think it's gonna be, and we'll see if you are correct.
Yeah. Classic. Ella and Silver are, in my experience, pretty promoting.
Oh, did they get it?
Ella and Silver are sometimes
not
separated.
Massively.
Yeah.
Not massively. Like, I do have trouble promoting. Like, I hate pushing myself onto other people.
Yeah.
I'll
pay that.
I really have to push myself to promote my own channel. But I think the part that hurts the most for me, honestly, is getting out of my own head in terms of whether people like my content or not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can relate.
That is one of my biggest things that I am constantly grinding through and pushing through, because I've unfortunately had people who have outright told me they would prefer my VTuber over me. I have seen the numbers drop when I've had an actual camera of myself over my VTuber.
Jerks.
So
yeah, that's tough.
It's not an easy thing.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, like it's
well,
it's difficult, but like at the end of the day, so long as I can push myself through, like I know I've got people behind me.
Hell yeah. And Qualbert and I both know you personally, so
yes,
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So we love both the VTuber and the real you. So we used to, little known fact, chat, don't tell these two I'm telling you this, but we used to play Dungeons and Dragons together. We're not super nerds. We are, but we're not.
we are totally super nerds.
We're cool.
We're cool. We're totally cool.
But we're cool. Trust us. So like Qualbert, what would you say is your biggest grind? Like, how do you grind through it? There's got to be something that you have to grind.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's probably a couple of things. For me, sometimes it can get a bit overwhelming with how much I have on my plate.
Preach.
Oh yeah.
Like I work full time.
Me too.
Content creation. People don't realize, but this is full time. I am dedicating so many of my hours outside of work, staying up late, writing reviews, smashing through games that are way too long, taking pictures, trying to schedule posts. Like there is so much that goes on, and like can be pretty draining sometimes.
How many hours? How many extra hours do you reckon on average?
Yeah, I reckon every day I'm probably committing like 3 or 4 hours specifically to content creation in some way or another.
I think for me, it's about an extra 20 hours a week if I do YouTube stuff as well. Like that's why my YouTube stuff is like maybe like 3 posts a week maximum, because if I sometimes I just have to cut it out. I'm doing a lot of hours at work. I can't do everything. So I agree.
No, there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
And I think just helping people be aware actually how much time content creators and people who don't do this for a living, because that is the majority of us, it's a hobby, it's a passion.
Yeah.
Like there's so much work that goes on behind the scenes. But honestly, I don't even think that's the hardest thing. The hardest thing is battling with myself. So the imposter syndrome that you get as a content creator.
I feel that.
Yes.
is the stuff that I'm doing good enough? Like, all of the effort that I'm putting into stuff, is it worth it? Is it paying off? Like,
What am I
why
even
should
doing
I
here?
continue
What am I even doing
this?
here?
Like, guarantee you, everyone out there that is passionate about creating content feels exactly the same way. And like, it is awful sometimes. Like, I might spend an entire day writing an article, and then I'll be sharing it out and pouring everything into it, and then yeah, it'll get like a few reads, and I'm just like, oh god, like,
Video,
I understand exactly how you feel.
like it's a constant struggle. And like, the thing is, like, sometimes you are your own worst enemy. Like Nick said, you've got a community of people behind you. I know so many people who really genuinely do appreciate what I do. It's just sometimes I don't realize that.
Yeah. Sometimes you can get so far into your own head that it's hard to get out.
No, well, we love you, Qualbert. You know I love you as a human being and also as a content creator. I always fanboy, even though we've known each other for a long time, every time I hang out with you because you're so cool. So, you know, even if you didn't do Qualbert stuff, and same for you, Silver, you know we'd still be friends. So much love. Got my little heart here for you guys.
We are all worthy.
All worthy. So then if we stay with Qualbert for a second then, and then we'll flip back to Silver for the same question. How do you stay motivated then, right? So to keep up with that schedule and the projects and the creative activities. And for me personally, I'm like constantly, and it's the same in my work and creativity. I'm like, what can I do next? Hence, podcast tonight that I'm trying to do, right? This is something I was like really wanting to do. And I did a reaction video last night, which do not watch it. It was terrible. The sound was really awful. I need to fix my microphone. But I'm just trying some new stuff. So how do you stay motivated, Qualbert, on these schedule and projects and creative activities?
Like, I find just having a momentum to your content creation really helps. Like, if you can really, like, there will be times where you're very motivated and you just are super keen in smashing out some awesome content. And those are the times where you just need to make the most of it. Like, I will take, I don't know, 20, 30 pictures at once. I will sit down, I'll write like 3 articles in a row. Like, these are just times where I'm intensely focused and like in a really good headspace to be able to make quality content. And then when I'm in a slump, which, that happens to all of us, I'm really lucky in that I've got a great team. I actually have several other people who help me out with the website, who write articles and reviews, and we chat regularly as well. And I feel like that is really good support for me. If I'm not maybe in the right kind of frame of mind, or I'm not feeling super motivated, they've got their work, they've got their reviews, and that's when I'll help promote their stuff. I'll kind of step away from content creation and be more of an editor. And I think it's good because that definitely like switches on a different part of my brain. Like, it's less using the creative side of my brain and more so like the analytical and very structured side. I find that helps a lot.
That's awesome. And you know, like you were talking about, like when you're feeling down, I can tell if I'm having a hard mental stress time and my mental health isn't great by how much I post on Instagram. So if you guys see that I'm not posting on Instagram all week, please reach out because I just need some love. That's how it is, right? Because of that imposter syndrome. I feel like if I'm not doing my work well enough, how dare I post on Instagram, and how dare I do hobbies, right? Because I'm not doing enough. And I have a philosophy that I like to say, right? You're talking about mental health. This is direct, this big small world quote, right? Listen to this chat and live by it. Succeed on the days you're strong and survive on the days you're not. That is my mantra. I live by it. Some days are going to be trash. Some days are really going to take it out of you. Just survive. if you can just survive on those days and get through it, then when you, like Qualbert said, when the spark happens and you feel good, that's when you unleash. So love it. That's super good. And what about you, Silver? How do you stay motivated with the schedules and projects and creative act? You stream all the time. Love you too, Lemsip.
I have actually, I have more time to stream recently. Well, I do and I don't. Due to personal stuff, I had to quit my job. So streaming essentially at the moment is my main source of income.
Nice.
So I have to be on top of everything.
Yeah.
But I think what keeps me motivated the most, as much as she'll deny it, is probably Ella.
Yeah, Ella can't deny that. She's. I feel like you and Ella are sometimes joined at the hip.
Support wolf.
Yeah.
Is how I introduce her.
Yeah.
And see, told you she'd deny it. But no, dead set. If I'm having a down day, she's there to talk me through it. Like, if it's one of those days where I'm like, I've got a stream, but I'm just not right there for it, she'll either talk me through it and be like, hey, if you're not up for it, they'll understand, you know, or she'll just turn around and she'll be like, well, I'll be there with you. I'll do most of the talking if you need me to. Like, you know, she's been so supportive, and she really does keep me on track of a lot of stuff I need to do.
We all need that.
Smurf says we all need a friend like Ella, which is true.
Yes, yes, we do.
It's true. Much love to you, Ella.
As much as she will fight us on this.
Fight me. Fight me.
But yeah, no, like, I'll have my days where I will be right as rain and have that motivation on my own.
Yeah.
You know? But definitely for the days where I need that motivation, she's the one who pushes me through for it.
Well, this actually brings us on to the next question, Silver. So you so the next question I've got for both of you, and we'll stay with Silver since you're basically touching on it now anyway. Who or what group do you feel like has given you the most support in what you're doing, right? You've mentioned Ella. So obviously, you know, keep talking about Ella. Surprise, Ella, this is actually a podcast about you. This has all been a ruse.
It's all been a ruse. Surprise.
Right, surprise. But no, right? So Ella is obviously a huge support. So who do you think's giving you the most support in terms of groups, in terms of people, in terms of individuals, or idols?
Well, I know in the beginning, a lot of the people I have as mods are close friends. Some of them, like, they also stream. So I know when I was first starting out, they were a big help. They were some of my biggest support. They, you know, bring their community over to me. They, like, introduced me to other people until I was more confident to go out and do that myself. So, you know, I'm grateful for them. But that being said, I've also got new friends and, like, that I have made through streaming.
Hell yeah.
And, you know, I've got their support as well. I've got Ella practically on a daily basis. It is rare you find a stream where she is not with me. Like, it's, you know, I've had a lot of support through the few years that I've done this. Just from friends. Family's a big one too. I know when I was first starting out, because I've got my little boy, my mother was a big help and a big support. She's still to this day checks in. You know, how's streaming going? You know, how many followers are you up to?
Love that.
Yeah, my dad drops into my stream all the time. All the time. So cute. So I love it. I love you, Dad. If you're watching this, if you watch this back or you're watching now, I absolutely love you. And
Love you, Dad.
yeah, we work so hard. Sometimes I realize I'm like, have I seen him in the last 6 weeks? No, I'm just going around his house. So
He's seen you.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And what about you, Qualbert? Who do you think, like, who or what group gave you the most support, or gives you the most support now in what you're doing?
Yeah, well, I don't think I can just name one. I mean, my team, obviously. Lee's just called himself my emotional support burrito.
Yes.
So I guess I'll take that because burritos are great.
Hey, Grim, welcome.
I gotta say, I really have a lot of appreciation and fondness for the OG, honest video game box art fans.
Yes. Yes.
I started up that Facebook page a decade ago
Yeah.
now. And there are people that are still around, those familiar faces from the very beginning, and they are awesome. They are like the cornerstone of my community. They comment on everything, they interact with everything. We talk to each other, like they message me regularly. I really like that because it feels like you genuinely get to know these people. And then I would say someone who has been the biggest support of all is my wife. Particularly the last couple of years that I've been really dedicated to my website. She proofreads a lot of what I put on there. She is very tolerant of the fact that I have to commit so much time to playing video games and writing about video games and everything about video games.
So good.
And she really understands and is proud of what I've been able to build. So I think that has made a massive difference.
That's so awesome, dude. So awesome. It really is. Oh man. Look, I mean, okay, let's change the tactic, right? So Silver, well let's talk about how long you've been doing this, right? How long you've been doing content creation. And more specifically, this was an interesting thing because even myself, only doing this Twitch stuff for a year, or looking at my Instagram career over 7 years, how do you feel that you have changed compared to how you started, compared to how you are now? Like, is that an obvious change there?
Kind of, I suppose, like looking back on it, because this is about we're coming up on my 3rd year on Twitch. Before that, Mixer was about, I think, 2 years, so there was a bit of a break in between. But I've gone, or at least something I've noticed is the biggest change, I think, is in myself. I'm more confident. I still have my moments, don't get me wrong. I am still human, so I will have my moments. But if you were to compare me to me 3 years ago, I'm more outgoing, I'm more confident. Honestly, I feel like I'm happier.
That's so good. I'm happy. I'm really happy you are happier.
Like, just knowing I have so many people supporting me who genuinely like my content. Like, seeing people come back to chat, or, you know, even if it's just as simple as someone popping in and being all like, hey, I got stuff to do, but I'm gonna leave a lurk. It's like
me half the time.
That's cool too. Lurkers are valid fans.
Mm-hmm. Me 3 years ago would never have thought that would have ever happened. More of a nerd.
Yeah.
How could I be more of a nerd if I already was one? Like.
All right. Okay. Hold on. My hand's up in class here. Chat. Those of you who are listening to this on as a podcast in the future, hopefully, Grim Seventh is in chat. Grim is calling SILVERSPELL more of a nerd these days than before. I'd just like to point out that this guy is like a super mod on Twitch of like 50 million channels. He's definitely a nerd. You're a nerd too,
The
Grim.
nerdiest.
You're a nerd
But
too.
He's the nerdiest of nerds.
That's a compliment now. Like
Super
nerd
compliment.
used to be derogatory, but it's not anymore.
You're one of
Oh,
us.
no.
You're one of us, Grim. One
Whether
of
he
us.
likes it or not.
Oh God. And so Qualbert then, right? Can you reflect? You reflected a little bit before, right? On where you started compared to where are you? Like where are you now? Where you are now, I can use English very good. Just reflect a little bit, right? When you started compared to what you know now, right? Like if you could ask yourself, if you could tell your past self one thing, what would it be? What would it be?
I would say start a website.
Start a website. Yeah.
Like do it earlier. The earlier the better. Like I look back and I think, geez, if I had started up Qualbert.com 10 years ago, imagine what it could be today.
True.
True. I've grown a lot in my content creation because I started mostly making memes and shit posts, and now it has evolved into genuine, meaningful written content that I'm really proud of. Not to say I don't enjoy a good shit post every now and then, but
Okay. So those of you in chat, let's just get a hand up in chat for those of you who know the reference Sonic box art. I'm just going to throw it out there. Who knows the reference Sonic box art? Because I'm going to assume there's not that many of you from that long ago, but Lemsip has his hand up.
He knows.
If you don't know, look up, search Qualbert Sonic box art on YouTube. I think the video is still up there.
I think so.
It's a bit ridiculous. If someone finds it, please drop the link in chat. I think I allow links in chat. I don't know how Twitch works, but drop the link or send it to me directly, and I'll drop it in. And
those early days were just so silly and carefree, and honestly, I really loved it. It wasn't super productive. Like I wasn't building like the website and amazing community that I have now, but I probably wouldn't be where I am without those really silly days.
True. Well, okay. Let's go for a big question, right? This one stumps the shit out of me, so I'm hoping you guys have an answer because it's tough for me. Okay. Who were we talking to last? Qualbert. Let's go back to you. Big question. Mm-hmm. Who is your favorite creator in your field? Right. So the field of reviews. Who's your favorite creator?
That's not a hard question for me. And he's not necessarily a reviewer. He's a gaming content creator who I've also known ever since I got started in this field. So he's based in Perth. He's called Luke Likes Games. And I've known him through a number of groups. So I first met him through like an Australian video game buy, swap, sell group. And then we just added each other on Facebook. And I would say he is one of Australia's leading Instagram gaming content creators.
What a legend.
So, like, I don't know if I can... I'll put his @ in the chat.
Yeah, go for it, man. Shout out. I'll share him.
Share his link.
We'll see how we go.
Because honestly, he is just inspiring. Like, there was a few years where I was actually really jealous of him because he had achieved so much, and that wasn't a good attitude for me to have. And I changed my mindset. I was more like, how can I be like him?
True.
And yeah, the stuff that he makes is awesome. He is genuinely just the nicest guy. He hosted was like a Australian Gamers of Oz meetup at PAX last year and got like 200 creators together all in the same room. Like, he is just inspiring. I really love his stuff. And like, he has done so much with content creation. Like that is kind of who I aspire to be.
Oh man,
I love you, Luke.
Super cool. Hey, shout outs to Luke. And now that we're a little bit over halfway now, chat. So I'm just going to do the thing. We got a heap of people in here. So everyone, that's Qualbert, right? He doesn't stream on Twitch, but I do have another link here.
Just post my website.
That is where
there
you
we
can
go.
check out all the Qualbert things.
All of the links.
Bye, Grim. See you later. Grim's checking out, guys. So all the bots are going to come into chat now, and we got no moderation. So it's all
Thanks for
going
joining,
wild
Grim.
from here. It's all downhill, chat. If you want to
well.
if you want to tune out, now's the time. And also, please, if any of you don't follow Silver, I have a. Where are you, Silver? There you are. If any of you do not follow Silver, please follow Silver because she's excellent. So we do want to support these two lovely guests that have come in to our chat. And thank you everyone else who's come in here and hung out with us tonight. So we've got a couple of questions to go. This is where we get to the really, really tough questions. So both of you get prepared. Next question. This is a bit of a meta question, right?
Did you ask Silver?
Oh, I didn't.
Favorite?
Of course.
Because my answer, I don't actually have one. It's hard to choose, honestly.
There's only a couple of VTubers out there. You surely could just pick one, right? What is it? 2 or 3 of you?
Only a couple. It'd be less competitive in my field.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
No, like I legitimately can't just pinpoint it to one content creator. I grew up watching a ton of different people, and like it was just always that's something I want to do.
That's super awesome. So just VTubing in general, VTubers in general. Say me for the memes. Ella's just called out Silver because Ella is also a VTuber. I'd just like to point out. Silver didn't even name Ella her favorite VTuber in the field.
I mean, it's hard to choose, like, and it wouldn't even just be a VTuber, just any like content creator in general.
Nice.
I don't know. It's kind of like growing up as that kid, seeing people being successful with games, enjoying them, like enjoying what they do, playing them.
That's the dream, isn't it?
That's the dream.
That's true.
Being able to one day go, oh yeah, I do this for a living. Like, I play games for a living.
Let's all support Silver. Everyone follow Silver so she can get to the point where she can just play games for a living.
I wish.
That would make me happy too for that to happen.
Oh, that would make life so much easier for me. As it is, I'm getting my little one into it early. He's had a few mini streams on my channel. So.
Oh, cute.
Super cute. Super cute. Oh my god. Okay. Meta question here. So Qualbert is mostly on his own website, right? But you are slave to stuff like Google search algorithms and bits and pieces, right? And Silver being on Twitch and TikTok, absolute slave to those algorithms as well. So in terms of like a really meta question here, what do you think is the best and worst parts of that creative community or platform? So if we stay with Silver, right? What do you think is the best and the worst parts? Just quickly off the top of your head, if you had to say one thing that's good and one thing that's bad about Twitch or TikTok, what's it going to be?
Gotta say, definitely one of the worst things is, as you said, that algorithm. I'm competing with a lot of, it sounds bad saying competing, but it's true. There are so many content creators out there, especially on Twitch, on TikTok. They're both very popular platforms. So like just trying to get a view playing a game, like whether a mainstream game or like something really well known or not that well known, that algorithm, unless you really want to pay to get your shit put like up on front, you're like very, very rare is it that you end up on the recommendations.
It's such a challenge.
Is this not a thing, right? So I think there's something Qualbert posted actually recently where it's essentially if you don't pay for Facebook boosting, people that have subscribed to your page on Facebook, barely any of them will see your stuff.
No one sees it.
Yeah.
Like 1% of who follows you.
Insane, right? Insane. So it's pay to win.
It's unfortunate, but it's the same on Twitch now too, and TikTok.
How do you pay to get you? Can you pay to get like boosted on Twitch now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm learning new things.
Legitimately,
Wow.
you can pay for TikTok. It's essentially you do your whole pay thing, and they'll chuck you up. Like you get a better chance of being on the fucking main like scrolling page of TikTok. It's the same for Twitch. Your community can essentially help pay to put you up on the recommended list.
Wow.
So that's why a lot of content creators who have those like 1,000+ views get chucked on the recommended page. They've got that following behind them. They've got people who are willing to spend that money to be like, yeah, straight in your face.
Wow, cool. Well, that's insane, man.
Which makes it hard for people starting out. It makes it hard for like a lot of the smaller content creators.
Hell yeah, it's
because
already
you are
hard.
battling against that.
And
I really dislike the fact that you need money in order to succeed, because I don't make any money off what I do. It's all completely voluntary.
Mm.
I don't have ads on my website. I don't have sponsorships or anything. So like I've worked for the last 10 years to build up a following, and it's just impossible to get ahead on social media unless you funnel a whole bunch of money into it.
Yeah, and I've refused. Right, I haven't spent any money boosting any of my stuff as well, and it's just out of principle for me. Like I feel like I'm quite old, chat. I don't know. I'm older than I look. I think I look pretty old anyway. The thing for me, right, is I remember before the internet, right? Like I remember when the internet came around, and it was this amazing thing. And I think this pay to win mentality that a lot of chokehold capitalism is what it is, right? So you have creators at one side, you have the consumers at the other, and you have very few companies in the middle with a chokehold on it, and they're the only funnel. And so only the content creators that and this was the thing, right? They were talking about YouTube videos on a stream I was watching, and the fact that there is an algorithm that YouTube has said this is the sort of thing that we're going to show to people, that actually affects the content that gets created. So they're driving content in a certain direction, not letting it be what it should be. So is that what you're finding with being on Google search results with your website and Facebook and stuff, Qualbert?
Facebook definitely. I mean, I am at the beck and call of social media. Like, no matter what I do, it never truly performs how I would like it to. However, Google is a lot fairer, which you wouldn't think so, because this is the biggest search engine on the internet, and pretty much everything on the internet is on there.
Yeah.
So I started a job 6 months ago in marketing. I've taken a really big career shift because you would know I used to be a vet, but Chat and Silver might not.
Qualified vet, right there, chat. Qualified vet.
Yeah, and I have learnt so much in the last few months about SEO, which is search engine optimization. And it basically gives my website a chance, like, for my articles to appear first above all of the other big ones. Like, my articles can appear first before IGN, GameSpot, Kotaku, all these others, because Google has changed their algorithm a lot in favor of the quality of the content. They can actually deduce whether the content of the article is really useful for the reader, like how long people are spending on the page, whether they're actually reading it or not. And so that's actually really worked in my favor. I've been able to make a few articles that are just smashing it. And in doing that, it helps me build up a reputation and people explore more of the content that I create. So I think as far as platforms go, Google is very fair.
Nice.
You can pay to have your stuff appear first, like just like paid Google ads. Those will be the first couple search results. But everything beyond that, anyone can appear, and it's often based on the quality of the content.
Oh, super good. I love it. So then I want to flick something across to you guys, right, to both of you, and have a think about this. We know there's like other content creators are going to see this, right? Young kids just starting out, people who are deciding that like, wow, I've got something to say, right? I've got something to write, I've got something to draw or create or make. So I guess what advice do you think you would give to people starting out, right? Knowing what we know now, if we start with Silver, right? What would you suggest if you have to tell someone just starting out what to think and what to do and how to begin that journey?
Something I've caught myself telling people recently who have just started streaming, and it's not just streaming, anything they're doing, it's keep at it. No matter how low it may seem, like viewer-wise, number-wise, keep pushing yourself, keep pushing your work, have that confidence, and put yourself out there. I know I've said I'm bad at promoting myself, and I really, really am. But at the end of the day, some advice I definitely give, especially for people streaming, is no matter how low your views, at the end of the day, find someone to raid. Find someone you're interested in and go raid out to them. Meet new people, put yourself out there. Not only do you get that confidence in yourself, you end up meeting amazing people, you grow a community, and it's worth every hardship. Don't let what people say get to you, because there can be some real jerks out there.
Oh, it's
my
the
God.
internet.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
internet. You're going to come across a lot of hateful people.
Absolutely.
Ignore those hateful comments, believe in what you do, and put yourself out there.
Believe in yourself, chat. Believe in yourself. Don't listen to them. Qualbert, what? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go on, Silver.
No.
That's
Go on.
yeah. Well, it was very succinctly said. It was so well said. I was like, I was sure you had like finished the thought. So I apologize for cutting you off at the end there. But I love it. It's such a good such a good motto and such a good thing to present. So, Qualbert, what about you? What advice would you give to anyone starting out and looking to build their platform or skills in any creative industry, but particularly, I guess, around what you do? And
I think I'm going to echo some of Silver's sentiments in that it's got to be give and take. Like, you can't expect people just to follow you or be interested in what you do unless you give a bit back. Like, you need to genuinely be interacting, developing relationships, like actually caring about what other people do. Because a very easy way to grow as a content creator is to have other content creators share your stuff. If you develop a genuine relationship with them, and you're sharing their stuff, they're going to want to share your stuff as well, because we help each other out a lot. I found that was especially the case on Instagram, where there is an excellent community centered around video games here in Australia, and everyone is just so supportive. So regardless of what platform you're using, be it, I don't know, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, your own little blog, find similar people who are pursuing the same thing and really develop a friendship and a relationship with them, because I think it's more important than the content itself is actually the people behind the content.
so true.
Oh,
And
yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's one of the best things about Twitch is that you can finish a stream, and if your viewers aren't quite ready to go to bed yet, you can jump across to someone that you really love, or a new content creator that you've just discovered by searching the Twitch algorithm. And it's just like you said, mate. Like you just collab. I mean, look at us here, right? You absolute legends have decided you're going to come onto a podcast that I'm trying to put on for the first time ever because we love each other, right? We support each other. That's what content creation is about.
You've got to give back.
Yeah, I mean, there's I'm not that convincing a person, right? So if we didn't build these relationships, there's no way you guys would come on this show. And even still, you guys have taken time out of your busy schedules to come and talk to me and people on the internet and say hi to chat. Like it's absolutely brilliant. So supporting each other is super huge, super huge. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to add. I think you guys are exactly right. Sir Lemsip says 100%. I couldn't have gotten anywhere without riding on Qualbert's coattails. Qualbert does have some excellent coattails. He wears them all the time.
Yeah, but I need people to ride on them. Like, I can't just go for a coattail ride by myself.
That's true. Cool. So I have one final question, right? This is, after all, a food and drink channel. So let's start with Silver. Since you are guest number one, Silver, up the top there in the top corner, what is your favorite food and your favorite drink to make/eat?
Favorite food? I have to go with either like a apple pie or apple turnover.
Ooh, very good choice.
Yeah, that holds sentimental value to me. It's one of the first things my dad taught me how to make.
Ah,
Cute.
When it comes to making things to drink, I don't drink very often, so this is gonna sound childish, but honestly, a chocolate milkshake.
yes,
The classic.
classic. There's no shame here, right? All food is good, right? For me, it's really important, Silver, that we're not ashamed of what we like to eat and drink and food, because food is part of our soul, right? For me, it's like a big part. So just because someone doesn't like pineapple on pizza or doesn't like caramel sauce doesn't mean that someone else can't enjoy it. So, and everyone loves chocolate milkshakes. So,
oh, for sure.
Yeah. Qualbert, what about you? If you had to pick a favorite food and a favorite drink to either eat or make, what would you say?
So, favorite food is one that I wonder anyone has heard of, because it's Eastern European. In my situation, it's a Bosnian food.
Nice.
Because my stepdad moved from Bosnia to Australia, and he's been a big part of my life since I was about 10, and a big part of my life when it comes to food, particularly as well, because he's exposed me to so many different foods that aren't super common here in Australia. The food that I like the most is what's called burek.
Wow.
So it's a spiral pastry made with a very specific sort of pastry that's homemade, and you stretch it out over an entire dinner table, and it's a lot of work.
Wow.
And it's filled with like a sort of meat and onion filling, and then it's all like spiraled up into little sort of snail shapes and then cooked in the oven. And it is brilliant. It is so tasty. I hope everyone gets to experience burek at some point in their life.
Qualbert, next time you come on the show, we're gonna try to make it.
We'll make burek.
We're gonna make burek, right?
It's not easy.
No, but we're gonna give it a go. We'll give it a go.
I believe in you.
I will learn. I'll find a Bosnian chef to learn from. We'll get it.
There's some places that you can buy it, like as in like small kind of family-run restaurants and like delicatessens and stuff like that. But the homemade burek just hits different.
Oh yeah.
And in terms of my favorite drink, I think it's probably a tie between two different beers. So the first being an American beer called the Sculpin, that's themed off a fish from a craft brewery called Ballast Point.
I think I've heard of that. It's ringing a bell.
It is so damn good. It is it's the best craft beer I've ever had. And it's very hard to get now in Australia, which is unfortunate because I'd really love to get a couple packs of it. Very strong and bitter, but if you like craft beer, it is amazing. And then the other beer is a Japanese classic. Without a doubt, in my mind, this is the best beer in Japan, and that's Ebisu. Just
I've had
so
it.
Easy to drink.
Yeah.
Like every time I have it, I'm just like, yes, this is the beer. Sorry, it puts Australian beers to shame.
But you know what, right? I actually think that Australian beers and Japanese beers are quite similar. And for those of you who couldn't tell from our real Ocker accents going on here, we're all Australian. We're hanging out, right? Australian beers and Japanese beers, particularly the lagers, can have a lot of shared characteristics. So, but I agree, man. Japanese, they like take good beer and go next level. That's super cool.
So crisp.
Yeah.
Just like refreshing. I wonder if it's because we're at a sort of similar latitude, like our climates are very similar. So actually the style of beer that we like to drink is much the same.
I think so. And also I think Australian beers, traditionally the lagers especially, are quite simplistic. Look at all the classics, right? And I think Japanese food, and one of the things I learned when I was chefing, is that Japanese food is all about simplicity, right? You let the ingredients speak for themselves. So I think they really lend themselves to that style of beer making where it's just like simple, good flavor. Don't overcomplicate it.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, I think for me, right, if I have to answer this question, right, I've forced you guys to answer it. I better answer it as well. Drink is pretty easy. It's a tie for me between two cocktails I really like. And I'm the sort of person, I go to a bar and I ask for whatever beer I've never tried before. I'll just like, right, that one I haven't had, give me that,
Something
right?
new.
Yep, something new. It's because it's part of my job, right? It's a tough job, chat. Someone's got to do it. But I run a hotel. I run a big business, right? It's like multi-million-dollar business in terms of hospitality. I need to know what's new and what's trending, what's cool. So, but in terms of drinks, I really like. It's very tough, Ella. Very tough.
He's taken a blow for everyone by doing this.
That's right. That's right. I'll take one for the team, chat. It's fine. But in terms of actual drinks that I drink at home, my two favorite are espresso martini and Negroni. Negronis take the top place. I think it's because I got a bit of Italian heritage in me, but I really like aperitivo style cocktails, right? That bitter, it's almost medicinal, right? That's how we treat it. After dinner, you drink an aperitivo, and the bitterness starts the digestion and just makes everything sort of feel better after a big meal together. Right? You sip on a really bitter drink, it just feels like home. It feels like family. Espresso martinis are excellent. They're a little bit more difficult to make, so I don't make them as often because obviously you need a shaker. If you've seen my streams, you've seen I've made them like 60 times. But Negronis, they're so easy to make, delicious, and that'd be that. In terms of food, though, for me, I really love two types of food, right? And it's not even individual dishes. When I was a chef, I really gravitated towards coastal European and coastal Asian food. And I could never understand why I liked those two. It was really, old fashions are very good as well, Sir Lemsip. That is true. They're very good. I could never understand why I love those two foods, right? And I think I figured it out eventually was because both those cultures, they tend to have these really big shared meals, right? Classy. They tend to have big shared meals, right? Where you're cooking everything together and you share it family style around a table. But I find like some of the more inland, I guess like classical cooking techniques where they're like individual dishes for each person, even though that's considered like better food, I think it loses some of the love, right? Because if I'm serving dinner and me and Qualbert have had a fight earlier, I'll give him the small pork chop, right, on his plate. But if
Don't
it's
you dare.
I know, right? But if it's family dinner, like I'm eating from the same plate, right? We're eating from the same bowl of spaghetti, the same curry, the same whatever it is. So there's just some love in that shared meal. And if you watch my streams, a lot of the stuff I cook is shared food, right? It's not individually plated. I do individually plated food. I did a whole restaurant quality plating stream that's on YouTube. If you want to follow me, I haven't even promoted myself. Hold on. Let's please follow me. Shameless plug. If you check out YouTube, I've got like 90, almost 100 videos up there. They're not all very good, but I'm getting better. But yeah, there is a whole stream there I did like restaurant quality plating. But I think that the shared food feels better to me. Even dumplings, right? Because those of you who don't know, my love, she's from Taiwan. Dumplings are great, right? Because dumplings, you make the mix, you get the pastry, and then you sit around the kitchen table. And even in restaurants in Taiwan, they sit around a table in the middle of the restaurant, and all the workers just make dumplings at a table in full view of the public. And it's like a family thing. And then you cook them and eat them. So you make them together. It's that shared thing. So I really, really like it. That is my things. Well, I mean, that's all my questions I've got, everybody. UK food's the best, says Windy Corner TV. Toad in the hole, Scotch eggs, English muffins. You won't accept any counter arguments. That's fine, Windy Corner TV. No one's arguing with you, but we're sure thinking it loudly. No, we're not. We're not. It is fine to love UK food. Absolutely fine. I know.
Stodgy.
Stodgy. That's fine. As long as you love it, that is totally fine, Windy Corner TV. If anyone in chat, yeah.
Windy Corner TV makes a pretty great English muffin. I do genuinely really like them, so I think we do need to give UK food a bit more credit.
We'll do it. Credit to you, Windy Corner TV. You brought UK food into the conversation. UK food has entered the battle. If anyone in chat has questions for the two guests, because we're rounding up now, I don't have any further questions. I just thought I'd like to open it up to the floor. Similarities between dumplings, says Sir Lemsip, and making Eastern European. Yeah, no, you are right. Eastern European foods. That is true. It's that family value, right? It's everyone eating.
Definitely.
Yeah. Open for others to see. It is really cool, right? Like those cultural family foods. There's something lovely about them, right?
It's different.
And
it's hard to explain.
And when I say family, like I don't necessarily mean like family, because like I'm pretty lucky. My family's pretty awesome. Like we have difficulties, don't get me wrong, but there's no long-lasting issues. And I know a lot of people's families are not always awesome. So when I say family food, I mean food you can cook with your friends as well. If your family is your close friends, not blood, but friendship, that's the sort of food, right? When you correct me if I'm wrong here, Silver and Qualbert, but the good old Australian barbecue, right? Sausages on a barbecue outside, just with friends, just with your family, right? Like, family in the sense of like...
That's peak cuisine.
Fast and the Furious family, right? That sort of family. In the backyard. It's something so simple, but it feels great.
With a great Northern, no doubt. Or a 4X, but...
I actually dislike that beer. Don't sponsor me, Great Northern.
You sell it. I know you do.
I sell it. Doesn't mean I like it.
It doesn't mean he has to like it. No, but that really is just...
That's right. Sorry, Great Northern's not watching.
No.
Aren't they owned by Asahi now?
Yeah, I think so. I think Asahi bought CUB. Yeah, you are right. So Windy Corner TV said, he said Fast and Furious. Sorry, Qualbert, we're doing that live stream with the Fast and Furious video games.
Please, no. I will play Perfect Dark with you anytime, but no Fast and Furious. I value my life more than that.
God. Oh my God. Just while we're fielding some questions, don't forget to check out Qualbert. Follow him on all the things. And then we have SILVERSPELL, who is our lovely VTuber friend in the top box up here. Definitely check these two out. They are legends. And if you want to see any of my content, I would really appreciate it. Or hang out in the Discord, where we hang out between streams and talk about stuff. The Discord really is like my little... some people have Patreon. I have Discord. They're my like little crew of people who actually participate in stuff. So if you want to be part of the in crowd, check out the Discord.
Many links.
So many links. There's all the links. Just click all the links, chat. Click all of them. Fastest mouse wins.
You'll find the one you're looking for.
Winnie Corner TV asked, "Have you ever tried Malaysia chicken curry gulai ayam?"
Gulai ayam. Hold on. Gulai ayam. I have not. I'm gonna look that up quickly. Let's have a look.
Maybe you could make it.
I might try. Actually, I need to make masamun. My favorite curry of all time is masamun curry.
Good stuff.
So I've just a bit about myself, chat. I've been in the hospitality industry for 23 years now. Right?
You're madman.
When I was in high school, like at the end of high school, I started working in a little Thai restaurant as a waiter and a kitchen hand. It was my first experience in hospitality. Just family owned. What's it called? Like mum and dad owned it, with their kids would like run around, little kids and babies and stuff. Super, super cool. That was my first experience in hospitality. So I fell in love with particularly the masamun curry, right? How can you go wrong with a curry with peanuts and potatoes and onion? It's so good. It's like
wholesome.
The best version of like a satay flavor, like a curry peanut flavor. In my opinion. I'm happy for people to disagree. That's fine.
And you're going to make some for me and Silver, right?
Yes, it's in the post, actually. I've been cooking it in the background. You can't see it. It's off screen here. I've been cooking frantically, actually, with my feet. So it is on the way. It is on the way to you in the post.
I'll leave that foot curry.
You'll just leave it? Yeah. Keep it for a few years and drink it on stream.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Trust me, my community, as much as I love them, they put me through enough as it is. Let's not add this to the list.
Let's not add this to the list. Foot curry. No, it's honestly.
They pay to see it happen. I'm telling you.
No, they would. Your community definitely puts you through some stuff. That is for sure. But that's only because they love you.
And I love them back. Like no matter how much should I get put through.
You just gave us a goal.
What do you mean I just gave you a goal? You've already got one for a bloody body pillow.
Yeah, I have seen that. I may or may not have contributed to that, Silver.
Yeah, so have many other people.
I thought it was hilarious.
I did it because people were like, you should do it. And I was like, but people aren't going to be interested. I'll put it as a goal. And now they're all trying to reach said goal.
Yeah. Biggest supporter is Ella, apparently. She wants the body pillow more than everyone else.
Oh, even if this fails, like, she's for months has been trying to get me to make one.
God. Well, guys, this has been absolutely awesome. You are the best legends, the best human beings, the two of you. I really appreciate it.
Okay, I suppose.
You go all right. Well,
so we'll count that as a win.
Yeah, we'll count that as a win. Yeah. So yeah, just before we go, thank you very much for Silver. Do you want to remind everyone where they can catch you on the way out?
If anyone is interested in anything I do, you can catch me here on Twitch at SilverSpell09 or under the same name over on TikTok.
Legend. And Qualbert, where can they find you? Should they wish to check out all the cool things you do?
Well, Qualbert.com is the one place for all things Qualbert, but you can just look up Qualbert on pretty much any social media other than TikTok and Twitch, and you'll find me there. Because
you are Google search algorithm maximized,
and I'm a boomer.
And you're a boomer. Hey, I'm an even more boomer than you, and I figured out Twitch. So,
how did you do it?
Awesome stuff, SilverSpell. This Big Small World, and that other guy.
Who is that?
Thank you, Sir Lemsip.
That big nerd.
From now on, you'll be known as that other guy.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Qualbert
Qualbert OnlyFans when. Yeah.
How much
Silver,
are you
yeah.
willing to pay, Windy Corner TV?
So Silver's on about body pillows. Qualbert's already graduated to OnlyFans. Oh,
Maybe
God.
one day.
One day. Oh, my God. All right. You two are absolute legends. We're going to finish up stream here. I appreciate everyone in chat. Thank you very much. You're absolute legends. I will catch you next time. Come see me stream on Sundays. Come check out my reaction streams when I get the sound working properly. And check out more of these podcasts. I will get these two back on hopefully at some stage in the future. We'll give them a rest though. We don't want them to do it every week.
Be happy to be back.
But yes, I would love to do this. I think this worked out pretty well. I'm actually really happy, and it's making me very, very warm and fuzzy inside that we've had this time to hang out.
It was a good time.
Yeah, and we've answered some good questions and had a great chat. So you're all legends. We're checking out. I'm going to talk to these two off stream and debrief. But I love you all. Bye, chat.
Have a good night.
Silver can't wave because she's drinking a bubble tea.
Blame me. It's good tea.
I'm just gonna look at the camera. I'm just gonna say, hi YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. This will be at the end in the future from this podcast. Really appreciate it. If you want to see any of us, Qualbert has his website, which I'll link in the description.
Down below.
Down below in the description. SilverSpell streams on Twitch. I stream on Twitch. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. SilverSpell's also on TikTok. We'll link to all of our socials. We would love you all to check us out. Please support these two. And we'll catch you next time. That's not for you, chat. That's just for YouTube in the future. So don't you go.
Please don't leave us.
Please don't leave us. Please don't leave us.